Okay, so today I'm actually going to give a history lesson because I had to deal with some stupid little girl at my school complain and complain about how this little white girl decided to say the N-word. Now, the stupid thing about this is that the girl, every single one of her friends is black. Every single one of her friends says it, and the girl sits there and makes one small video on Facebook where she's not insulting anyone, she's just talking like she would with any of her other friends, and her other friends don't care, mind you. And my whole school goes up into an uproar because, God forbid, this little white girl says a word. And I can understand. I was like, alright, fine, white girl says a word she shouldn't say, that's alright, okay. But the reasoning that one of the girls I know, mind you, is black, gave me that this little white girl should not say this word is just, it's stupid. She was in class, and I was sitting there and I was trying to do our school's newspaper, and she's yelling about how white people are not allowed to say that word because we didn't go through slavery, and how dare we say a word that we used to use on them, and blah 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 blah. And I turned around and I looked at her and I went, wait, so your issue is we're saying a derogatory word that we used to use on you, yet you guys say it to each other all the time. She goes, well, it's not just that. It's you're white. You don't know what slavery is. Nor do you. Your ancestors went through slavery. Actually, let me correct this. Let me give a little bit of a history lesson. My ancestors went through slavery too. Go back to the Greek times. The Greeks had slaves. All white people were slaves back then. It was very hard to find. It was very hard to get out. You had the gladiators. You had the women slaves. White people were slaves. Let's go to the Irish. They can be considered having been in slavery. Potato famine, the harsh working conditions they had to go through, very little to no pay. I mean, isn't that what slavery is? Labor that you shouldn't even, labor that you do by force, and you don't get paid for. That's why I consider slavery. And then I have the people here who don't even remember what it's like to be a slave, weren't even there when it was like to be a slave. Their great-great-great-grandparents were slaves. But God forbid that they should know what it's like. So they're sitting there yelling at everyone else about how they don't understand what it's like to be a slave, about how they have the right to sit there and get all of this special treatment because, God forbid, they went through slavery. Oh my God. Well, guess what? My ancestors went through slavery. I'm half Indian. Oh, guess what? Indians went through slavery. Wow, so amazing. It's not that hard to see how many people have gone through this. It's a simple fact of life. White people, Indians, black people, Asian people, everyone at some point in history has gone through slavery. Therefore, there is no right for you to use that as a reasoning behind anything. And it really pisses me off that these are what the kids are being taught today. That these are what these kids are thinking. We've had slavery back in the Civil War days. We were the most recent. We have the rights. We need to be felt sorry for. No, you don't. And I can bring across billions of my own black friends who will sit there and argue this with me because they're so pissed of people, of people like them sitting there and turning this into some sort of game where they get special treatment just for something in the past. They don't know what it's like. They don't need special treatment. And another issue is one of my black friends ended up teaching me this today. Apparently, since if people whose skin are not black, because I'm considered white, even though I'm technically not white because I'm mixed of like almost everything, so I'm basically a mutt. But because of my skin color, I'm considered white. Now, I've figured out and been taught by many of my friends and by watching it through my school, black people are racist against themselves, which is stupid in itself. Because we aren't racist. I mean, we're mean to blonde people, but yeah, everyone is. But it's just, we're living in a community where we are turning everything into a racist battle as much as possible. And we keep bringing back the past and wanting people to feel sorry for us, wanting people to look at us and go, oh, I'm sorry we did this to you. I'll make up for it any way I can, even if it takes me 1,000 years because you keep bringing it up. No. It's over with. It's done. Drop it. There's no reason for this anymore. Get over it. You do not know what it was like back to be a slave. I do not know what it was like to be a slave. My ancestors were slaves, both sides, white and Indian. My Irish ancestors went through a thing that could be considered slavery. If you want, I can sit there and go, oh, all this happened to me here in America. I should get special treatment too. Do I? No. Black people are considered so much into the community now, but you look at the Indians, they're still crapped out. They get horrible places to live. Most of them don't even get an education anymore. I mean, if any of you are big fans of Twilight, let me explain this to you. La Push in Twilight is an actual place. It is an actual Indian reservation. Not only that, but for the first time in many, many years, they had a graduate. Now, mind you, The Push, they have one teacher. One. 3 to 4 kids in that class. Because most of them don't even bother. And they live in horrible conditions. Horrible conditions. Because our government lets them sit there. And they pay for them. But they don't pay enough. These people are worse off. If anything, I would consider them slaves. Because of how they live. Now, any of you have issues, comment down there, but be careful with your comments, because trust me, if you've listened through this whole thing and you actually think about it, this should make you open your eyes and figure things out. If not, and you yell at me in comments, then I'm sorry, because obviously you can't accept history.